What's up everyone, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be trying to destroy Grandmasters with Thors. Thors are a unit that aren't used very often, but I do think there is some hidden potential there. I'm going to start off by trying to play some epic macro games and end up with obviously some disgusting proxy Thor cheeses. Let's begin. Alright, the first game is going to be against a Terran. Now I did say that I wanted to start with a macro game, but playing macro Thors against the Terran is going to be pretty freaking hard. Now, just to clarify the rules, as always, this is not a super strict challenge. This, this video doesn't mean that I can only make Thors or something like that. I just want to do a strategy that either has a lot of Thors or is reliant on Thors, especially because it's so unusual, right, to have a Thor strategy. But I think I have an idea for this one. I could go for maybe like a double Thor drop. Like, I'm trying to think back of the mech drops to Grandmasters series that we had a while ago. I think I did open with double Thor drop. I'm not quite sure what my actual opening was. It was probably something a little more sensible, like, I don't know, 6 Hellions and then Thor drop or something. But I think I might try to do it a little faster here. And then if I have to make tanks to survive, I can do that. But as long as I can make Thors, I will keep making Thors. I mean, if I play against someone playing mech, I have seen this guy play mech before, I believe. If he could go for mech, then mass Thor might actually be something that can work. Like, I would have to use a lot of medevac maneuvers and stuff to get my Thors in his bases, past his defenses, or maybe go for a really big surround. Like, imagine there's like 20 tanks here and I come from every angle with Thors. But I do know that if tanks are already siege and you try to fight them with Thors, it's going to be a little painful, to say the least. Definitely a little painful. Now, I do want to expand at a somewhat decent time. This map does have this gold base, but I think that's pretty much useless to take if you're going to go for a Thor challenge, because it only has 1 gas. Gold minerals are very cool, but I don't think those are going to help me afford mass Thors any faster. Now, let's see what the opponent's up to first of all. Looks like this might be just a Reaper. No, it's actually a double gas. Okay, I was wondering because I didn't see any attempt at making a second depot. He is attacking my SCV. It's almost like I'm playing against a Protoss. This is very unpleasant. Normally, I don't have to think about that kind of stuff when you play against a Terran, but he actually almost got my SCV. Wait, is he proxy me or does he want to lose that? He's cutting it very close there, I have to say. I mean, I'm also going to lose my SCV at the same time, but I did see the factory, so at least I'm not going to be confused because I was about to be. Let's see if I can save this for a little longer. Like, my Reaper's already halfway across the map. This is actually pretty decent. Might be able to get a good trade against the Reaper. Let's see. It should be right here, or you could be keeping it on the cliff. Let's see. If he's keeping it up there, then I'm obviously not going to jump in. Doesn't seem like it, though. I'm going to go for my base. Now, maybe I can get an SCV back. Oh, he's going for a reactor. That is interesting. All right. So I'm going to have 2 Reaper. Wait. Did he actually just do that? This guy's crazy. He's not going to be able to do that, I think. I should be able to block it if I have enough hands. I'm going to go for a starport already. Let's see. Lift it, bro. I dare you. Do it. If he's fast enough, he could give it a shot, right? Oh, I got it. I got it blocked. I'm going to block it for as long as I can. Let me juke him. Oh, can I survive? No, barely not. Okay, I mean, honestly, might even still be worth. But we did see that he was going for double cyclones, right? So I think I have to make at least 1 tank. I'm already going to make the armory here, which is a little bit unusual as well, of course. Or I wouldn't even call it unusual. It's just no one freaking does it. But since we're playing against double cyclone, at least it could be Hellions, but that would be actually kind of unusual. I need at least 1 tank, and then I'm going to be able to start making Thors after that. Let's see. Maybe I can even still get a starport, or starport SCV. He's going to have to run away with that. I do have 1 Hellion. He is going to see my armory, which, I mean, I don't really think is the biggest deal. And I know that sounds stupid to say, but the thing is, like, I can't win this game without him knowing my strategy anyway. It's not like I'm going to be able to fly 1 Thor across this map, across this really big freaking map, by the way, and just kill him with it. Like, that's not going to happen, right? In fact, maybe this is going to be even more interesting because I'm very curious as to what he's going to do to defend my initial Thor drop. I think I might have to make a bunker here. I'm not quite sure if 1 tank is enough to defend 4 cyclones. 2 cyclones should be okay, even though 2 cyclones can also do some serious damage, but 4 cyclones would be very problematic. Oh, he did switch over, so maybe I don't need a bunker in that case. Wait, I actually annoyed him so hard with my Reaper that he had to drop a depot there, which is quite funny. He's sticking around, which is incredibly risky. I'm not going to lose that tank, I think, because of the repair. And then it's going to be 2 Cyclones dying pretty much instantly, and that is absolutely massive. Now, I'm still curious what he's going to do against the Thor. Like, I imagine he's going to try to siege a tank over here. Like, this Thor is going to be really strong on the back of this gold base, right? Like, this Thor is even going to be... I mean, I wouldn't say uncounterable because one tank should do the trick, but if it's not a tank, then I actually don't even know what he would do against this. But I imagine... Actually, if it's one tank, maybe I could even drop on top of the tank. It's funny to theory craft about these situations because realistically, so many different things can happen that I'll never figure out what I actually have to do until it happens. Let's see, is there a tank? There's no tank yet. My Thor is already over here, and this is going to be a... Wait, does it reach over there? Can I kill the SCV? That was so far, though. Let's see, is there a tank? Tank is out here now. If he sieges it far forward, maybe I can even target it. Thors do have pretty long range, so maybe I can even snipe SCVs. Looks like he's putting down a second tank there, so I'll fly this away for now. And I'll go for my third base on location, because I do have a decent amount of map control with these Thors. I don't think I can really afford any additional factories yet. I mean, I could if I would stop being a silly goose and actually make some other units, but I want to keep making Thors. So in that scenario, I don't think I can really afford anything else yet. Like, I keep needing to make depots because they cost so much supply. Wait, attack the... Why was it attacking the freaking barracks? That's a little crazy. I don't think I want to take a hit from the tank because tanks do freaking 70 damage or something like that against Thors, and I do not want to suffer that. Maybe I should go for... No, I'm going to get attack. I was considering armor because Thors do so much damage anyway, but I feel like attack is going to be even more useful. Now, I'm going to be able to kill a tank here, which is really nice. That tank is going to die very fast. He might even try to drop some auto turrets. He's going to lose that instantly. So now... Wait, he actually did drop 2 auto turrets. I only saw 1 initially. So I killed a tank and a Raven, but I did take a significant amount of damage, so I'm going to have to fall back with these Thors. Is there anything in particular that I'm going to be afraid of? I think if he gets like a big bio army with stim, that's going to be hard to counter. Something I could do against that is potentially go for maybe like another planetary. Like I could put a planetary here. I mean, he could have enough medevacs to drop over these gold patches and get it to my base. But if he doesn't, then this should be pretty good. Yeah, I think I'm going to make an engineering bay and just make 2 planetaries out of this. I know it's a little crazy, but you got to do what you got to do, you know? I feel like these games are usually won by chaos, right? They're not really won by me doing the right thing necessarily, but they're just won by chaos. So I think getting a couple planetaries out there to confuse my opponent even more is really not so bad of a strategy. I'm actually going to grab a couple of these SCVs. And wait, did I make 2 ABS? No, I didn't. Okay. He sees I'm still only on pretty much 1 production facility, by the way. Well, I guess 2, because I make it from the starport as well. He must be very surprised as what the hell I'm doing. So the engineering bay finishes now. Let's see what we have over here. That is a small army, and I'm going to be able to absolutely obliterate that with these beautiful Thors. Let's see what I can do here. Here we go. It is going to shoot the Raven first, unfortunately. Maybe I can do like a little bit of micro here. I don't know how many tanks are there in the back. Looks like it's just 1. I don't want to take too much damage, though. So for now, I'll just take these trades. This is getting really silly, by the way. Like, that's all I'm doing. I'm just getting some quote-unquote free trade. Not entirely free, because I have to repair my units and then I fly back home. Now, my turrets are going to bring me a long way to... I wouldn't really call it stability. I was going to say long-term stability, but I don't think I'm ever going to be properly stable playing like this. I'm going to add a couple more turrets here. I do want to take the gold base from the back at some point because the front only has 1 gas, the back has 1 rich gas, so that is a very nice base to take. Let me see. Oh, they're already busy repairing. I'm going to scan here. Wait, he still doesn't have that? Did I do this much damage with my Thors? I feel like I've had this base for like 5 years already at this point. Guess I'll go for +2 attack. Oh, sensor tower could be nice as well. I didn't really think about that for some reason. This scan makes me feel like he's close to me. But I kind of feel like I would have seen him with the scan or... Okay, this sounds really dumb, but sometimes I just get a feeling that they're there and I didn't get the feeling yet. That's obviously not something that you should rely on for this, but sometimes I feel like I have a pretty good instinct or intuition for that, right? That I don't actually have the feeling that he's there right now. So sensor tower is going to finish there. Probably a couple more turrets here as well. How many tanks are there this time? Probably more than 1. Oh, wait, he is actually attacking me. Yeah, okay, now he's attacking me. There we go. So he's going to try to bake these 2 planetaries. I have 1 Thor that's going to be able to kill this. He's he's gonna walk into the other planetary. That's really funny. I do need to repair that, by the way. I don't want to lose either of these planetaries. I'm gonna siege one tank a little closer. I killed the freaking base, which is insane. I have my one of my Thors in his what's it called? His third base now, killing all of his SCVs. These are gonna go over here. Oh, he did pay enough attention to counter that, unfortunately. Let's see how many tanks is that. It's just one tank, so I can just drop on top. I should be able to kill that with the attack upgrades. Now, it looks like barely not. They're a little bit too strong. So I'm just making Thors over here. I'm still doing a good job repairing. He's gonna lose pretty much all of his command centers. Wait, does he have 2 starports? Or does it just look like that? No, he does actually have 2 starports. Okay, that's a pretty crazy way to play against someone making only Thors, to be honest. But I guess he didn't know at the time. I'm going to click these over here, and then I'll fly my next base over these patches to try and mine the gold. I feel like at this point, he's actually pretty close to getting eliminated. Like, I know he's not really getting eliminated, but it's also kind of close at the same time. Does he have something here? He does have a decent amount of tanks. Let's see. What am I going to do here, guys? I'm going to pick up these Thors. And I guess I'll find something to do with them. Oh, he did get some interference matrices off. I think I can save one of them. At least I hope so. If I can save one of them, that'd be pretty decent. He did use another interference. He should really be landing the Vikings, by the way. The fact that he's not landing the Vikings is actually pretty nuts. Okay, so he's landing the Vikings now. Maybe if I micro these a little bit, I can get a couple more decent shots off with the Thor. Let me start flying these away. So he's going to lose his last command center. I have this base still. Do I have enough to kill him? I am not necessarily convinced. He did also have another 3 tanks grouping up with his army, which is probably going to cost me a little bit of trouble later on. I'm going to sneak these away so I can build a base over there. I kind of think I might be... Like, where's the rest of his tanks? I know he has more tanks than that. Oh, I just found a base. That's very nice. He is going to be able to kill this, so I just fly it away prematurely. It would be cool to kind of keep that there, but I also think it wouldn't make a lot of sense. Oh, there's actually all of his SCVs. Yo, maybe I can get the SCVs here, guys. Here we go. I'm going to drop these Thors over here. I might actually be able to kill every single SCV. I don't think he has that much production left, right? So, okay, this was pretty massive for us. I think a couple Widow Mines could do very well for me. Maybe I could go for Cloak Banshees as well. I think he's going to find the factories just in time on the... Wait, oh my goodness, this guy's crazy. He's actually crazy. No, I'm not going to make it in time, I think. He flew his army. Oh my god, he's actually fighting this. No, why is he doing this? Absolute psychopath. Okay, now I got to get out of here. Guys, he's not actually flying the buildings away. I think we're going to be able to eliminate here, to be honest. But I do want to fall back with these. So that's going to die. Does he have another flying building? It doesn't look like he does. Let me try and pick up these Thors. He is going to lose that as well. I'm going to run my Thors as fast as I can to those depots over there, because that's my last chance to win. I'm going to kill this starport right now, and then I'm going to drop over on these reactors, because the gas, I think the gas is always going to die. So I just need to make sure that I kill these buildings. I'm going to kill that as well. Oh my god, I think my units are actually going to kill them in time. I'm going to drop that Thor over here. These are going to go over here. Let me make sure I kill the gas. Is that actually the last building? I hope he doesn't have a freaking SCV hidden somewhere. Let's see. Is the refinery gonna die? It's so close, and we have killed him with mass Thors. Oh my goodness, this game was freaking close. Like, these were my last 2 units, and I couldn't have gone for the draw because he had enough Vikings. There's actually one thing I could have done in another desperate situation is target down the Vikings, and then it would have been a draw. Obviously, I'm not here to get draws. You guys know me, but that was a beautiful warm-up game. Let's keep it going. Second game of the day is going to be against a Protoss player. Now, maybe this is the perfect time to bring back an ancient strategy of mine, Thor Banshee. I'm not quite sure how familiar you guys are with that, because I think I did some videos on that really at the start of my channel before I was even doing challenges and stuff. I was just kind of having fun with some weird builds, as you know, even back then I did that. And I had a strategy called Thor Banshee. It actually has a pretty funny backstory as well. It's there's a Protoss player from Singapore called Blisk, who I actually visited once. I remember we had some seaweed fries in the McDonald's. That was great. But anyway, he whined about Terran a lot, and very often he would tweet like some very like super random unit composition to complain about, like something with battle cruisers, even though Protoss doesn't even struggle against those. And one time he tweeted like, Thor Banshee, what the hell do you do against that? Right? And at that point, I was losing so often against Protoss, like legit so freaking often. And I was like, you know what? I'll just play Thor Banshee, because why the hell not? And then I actually went on a winning streak where I beat like, I think I beat Stats, Showtime, Hearthstone, Skill. Like I beat like almost every top pros player that I played against by playing Thor Banshee. Now, sadly for me, this only lasted for a week, because then they figured out that it was actually pretty easy to counter. But it's not easy if you don't know what to do, because it's not very intuitive. So the reason why Thor Banshee is actually good is because the counter to normal StarCraft 2 mech is pretty much to make Archons, because Archons don't really take enough damage from tanks at all, so they just don't die, so you can just break siege lines very easily. So what kind of happens, if you play Thor Banshee, if Protoss players are not used to that composition, they will just loop it in like the same category as regular mech with tanks and Hellions. So their response is going to be to make Archons. But the Archon is like really one of the only units that a Thor is good against in a straight up PvP, you know? Like obviously you have stuff like Sentries and High Templars, but like the actual battle units, the Archon is like the only thing that Thor is like extremely good against. So if they do that, they just get absolutely smashed. Now I don't really know what build I want to do in the lead up to that. Usually I could open with, let's say maybe like a Marine tank, either a push or just defensive with a 3cc, right? And then I could go into Thor Banshee from that. I guess I have to open with Banshees anyway, unless I want to make a Raven first. The problem with doing these kind of builds against Protoss is that Protoss has so many options to just kill you early on. Like a 4-gate Blink is almost unholdable by anything that is not like the exact right counter, for example. So if I don't have a good defensive setup with tanks, I'll already never be able to get into Thors. And then there's also like, for example, Phoenixes. Like if I'm going to go for Mass Banshee and my opponent plays Phoenix, that's also not going to be very pleasant. Now let's see what Mr. Reaper can find out here. I'll go for a Tech Lab right away. This is going to be a little painful, but there's nothing we can really do about it. So I think the only thing I can do is just to do some counter damage myself. Looks like the Adept shaded away, which is quite nice for us, actually. I'm slowly going to get a couple Marines out here. I believe I did see a second Adept go towards my base. I'm not quite sure if I saw that, but I believe I did. Oh, I should be able to kill this Adept here pretty fast. There we go. And maybe that's even going to allow me to win this trade, because he let the Hellion live for a little bit too long. Can I... Oh, the kiting is so good. Let's go. Oh, that was actually pretty awesome. All right. Pretty happy with that trade after all. We killed 2 Adepts. I think we lost 2 SCVs. And I traded the Reaper for, I think, 2 probes. I didn't get the full scout, however. That is a little bit of a downside. But all in all, that really could have been and probably should have been so much worse. So I'm really not going to complain about it. So I'm going to open with 2 Banshees. I guess I could still make a Raven as well at some point if I feel like it. But what's more important for me now is that I find a good way to go for the 3rd command center. I don't really want to push with the Marine tank, and it's mostly for the reason that I could accidentally kill him if he's playing like really greedy, and I don't want to do that. But at the same time, if I don't punish him for being really greedy, then we're also not going to beat him with mass Thors later on. Now, this already is starting to look like a 4-gate Blink because he doesn't have a 3rd base. I really didn't do that much economic damage, so I should have had that by now. So I'm going to make a bunker in the main and add a couple more Marines, slowly start walling this off. And then maybe I can actually get the check on the 3rd base again at some point. Hopefully with this Hellion right now, if there's no Stalker in the way, that would be extremely pleasant for us. And it looks like it's a 4-gate Blink. Okay, so he's going to try to kill one of my SCVs. I saw it in time, so I'll be able to react there. Then I'll finish the depot over here. The Blink into the main is going to be extremely dangerous, but I suppose we'll see how it's going to go. Like, it's just one of those things. Like, 4-gate Blink is so incredibly hard to defend against that I just actually can't afford an armory. If I made an armory now, I wouldn't be able to make a 3rd CC ever, and then I can't play Thor Banshee, so I do kind of have to play with that in mind. Gonna make a Raven now, and then I'll put the tank over here. I'll get the extra gases, and that's after this the armory is gonna come into play. I think I probably need another bunker. I still feel like right now, if the 4-gate Blink is executed properly, that we should die. That is not the most threatening Blink ever, I have to admit. I think he easily could have just blinked on there and started targeting either the bunker or the tank right away. So for now, we're going to be pretty okay with this. If I would have to guess, he's going to try and blink on top of the tank in just a second. Maybe when he sees these Banshees. Oh, instead he's going to warp Stalkers at home and give up the attack. That is also an interesting way. Guess we're just going to start the armory now. I don't think the Observer is going to be anywhere close because the Robo's in the natural. And he is going to blink forward, exactly what I said. That is not going to be super efficient for him, unfortunately. So I'm going to siege this tank over here. Let's pull the Raven back. He is going to lose the Observer, I think. Let's see if I can get one more probe kill. Doesn't look like it. And now... yeah, I think... okay, this is extremely greedy what I'm doing here, considering we're still being attacked. But I'm going to go for the extra factory so I can start playing the Thor Banshee, because that's really what I want to do, of course. He did leave over here. He might try to blink in again into my natural. I want to make an engineering bay. So it's going to be a little easier for me to deter the warp prisms. Guess I'll get +1 attack. I'm not quite sure what upgrades I really need to play Thor Banshee, to be honest, but I think +1 attack should be fine. Could also get armor. Now, I do still want to get Banshee speed as well to really embrace the full strategy of Thor Banshee. But especially with the damage we took, even though it was limited damage, that is going to be a little too expensive. So it looks like he's going to try to all-in again. This is very unfortunate, not because it's necessarily a good strategy, but this does mean that Thor Banshee is probably not going to happen, because he is probably going to die before we get there. I mean, it's still possible that I die, of course, but I feel like he's going to be the one that's going to die before we get there. Now, I do need probably a couple more tanks here to survive this. I think maybe he even added a couple more gates than 4. It's also possible that he's just really poor, but I think he probably added more gateways slowly. I'm going to get a couple of Hellions now. He's going to try to blink in here. This is going to be a pretty good choice. Dude, my freaking tank almost killed my own tank. You guys saw that? He can easily kill. He should really kill that tank, by the way. He's actually not going to kill that tank, which is pretty crazy. He could blink forward. Looks like he's not going to do it. Now, is this finally time for us to start our first Thor, guys? I've been wanting to make a Thor all this freaking time. Like, please, let me make a Thor already. It would be very stupid. Like, really, it would be absolutely stupid. But I think I'm going to do it anyway. Those Zealots get cleaned up relatively easily. Let's make sure I don't lose this tank to just that. Stalkers are still out here. The prism is in the corner of my base somewhere. Dude, I'm actually making a freaking... I'm actually making a freaking Thor right now, which is so incredibly stupid, but I just really want to. Like, I can't make anything else. You can see only one of my factories is producing, and that's because I spent 300, 200 on a freaking Thor. I have 2 eBays, but one of them was for the wall, so I guess that's acceptable. Now, should I maybe go for an attack? Oh, he actually blinked. Oh, that is a tough blink in, I have to say. He's going to lose the Observer, so now my Banshees are just going to absolutely crush this, I think. I hope for him he has another Observer, because else this is going to be a little bit tough. Let's see, I'm going to keep scanning him. I do want to know if he took a base behind this. I kind of think he did, but I don't know for sure, so I'm just going to send these Banshees around. I do have my first Thor now, which is going to help a decent amount with the Warp Prism. I'm not quite sure if it's going to be helping with much else than that, sadly, because if Stalkers blink on top of it, we are still going to be in trouble, of course. Let's see. Yeah, I feel like by his movement, I don't think he wants to try again. Like, I can't tell for sure, but just judging by the movement, it doesn't seem like he wants to try again. He was probably really surprised to see Thors there. Honestly, if I saw Thors in his position, I would leave, because I'm like, okay, this is just too much. You know, a guy made Thor against my Zealot charge all-in, or charge blink all-in. I think we need to give up on this game. It's just, we've been humiliated officially, you know. Not that it was my intention, but... Now, he does have... Oh, he's actually no gas. Okay. He does have the 3rd base, maybe even the 4th base, or it looks like it's in production, judging by how many of those probes were moving. I'm actually not quite sure how well this follow-up of his matches up against Thor Banshee. Because he's going to have a lot of Zealots, right? He's not going to have much else besides Stalker and Zealots. But... I mean, I'm only gonna... Like, Thors are not good against either of those units, really, right? Like, I guess the Hellbats are good. But besides that, I'm a little unsure about this. Now, I guess it is the time for me to take my base as well. It does look like he expanded a little faster than I expected. I knew he was going to expand at some point, but it looked like he actually got that up and running a little faster than I thought. So that is a little bit of a downside for us. But at least... everyone survived. I survived and he survived, so now we're going to be able to play Thor Banshee. And we're even in an interesting position here because I'm actually not quite sure who's going to come out ahead on this. Now, my Thors are going to get another Observer. I'm kind of surprised that he looks to be attacking in here. Well, no, actually, it does make sense. Like, I'm playing Thor Banshee, but for him, I'm just playing Mech, and against Mech, you usually just attack. Oh, he just lost the Warp Prism. That's a little painful. You usually just attack because Mech is just not very good at defending, Protoss armies for the most part. Kind of what I explained earlier. Especially if there's Archons, of course. Now, he's not really going to have Archons, or if anything, he's not going to have a lot of Archons because he is not taking any gases whatsoever. Now, I did get speed for my Banshees, so these Banshees are now going to be an absolute nuisance. Like, even Blink is not going to be that great to deal with this. Look at this. Oh, these Banshees are so beautiful. Once you get freaking speed on these, they're so good. Look at that. It's just 2 Banshees. And I feel like I've killed 5 million probes already. It's probably not quite 5 million, but I think you guys get the point here. I think we're going to go for a really big push once I get my +2 attack. That seems to be the case. You can tell he's really remaking his probes super fast, because every time I go again, it feels like the probes I killed are already there again, you know? Look at these badges. This is so many freaking kills. How many are they on? They're on, I think it's at 18 and 5. Could be 16 as well. So more than 20 kills already, which is really nice. Let's see if I can maybe sneak in here with these 2 Banshees. I feel like he's just waiting for me, to be honest. I feel like he's just waiting for me to move out. That is not his entire army, surely not. He's actually gonna go for it. Okay, that is pretty crazy. I mean, I do have the Banshees. He's going to blink forward, which is an extremely painful decision. And now the Immortals are here. But Immortals are actually surprisingly not that amazing against Mech. Like, you really would be surprised at how Immortals do against Mech. And it's mostly for the reason that they are armored and do take bonus damage from the tanks as well. Like, that's why the Archons are so good. Because the Archons don't take bonus damage from anything. Like, you could make Ghost as well. But right now, I'm not going to do that because I want to play Thor freaking Banshee. Now, this game, somehow it's found a way to just keep dragging on. Like, I think I mentioned it initially, maybe even a couple times during the attack. Like, this game is probably going to end before I get to play Thor Banshee, but now we're here. And even now, I'm not even sure where this game is going, right? Because it's been such a crazy set of attacks. I feel like even though we lost a lot of Immortals, we did trade out pretty evenly overall, because I did lose most of my Thors, I believe. Okay, I like how he just F2'd a couple Zealots over there. Yeah, the Zealots aren't going to do the trick, I'm afraid. Would be nice for him if they did, but luckily for me, they're not going to do that. Wait. The Cybercore is upgrading. Why is the Cybercore upgrading? You're getting air armor for his Warp Prism? Like, I actually can't think of anything. Why the hell the Cybercore is upgrading? That is very interesting, I could say. Let's see. Maybe he has this base too. Judging by how many units he had, it wouldn't surprise me if he had another base. Now let's try and go for a run-by with these Hellions. I thought I got servos upgrade, but apparently I didn't because those warped in very slow. Now I think I wanted to go for a +2 attack, but he killed my Thors. And when you play Mech, pretty much any style of Mech, you do always want to make sure that you have enough of the units that you actually need. You can't really defend an attack and then move out with a half-assed army. Like, you really need the right amount of Hellbats and Banshees and Thors and whatever you're really building, right? Let's just roast these probes. Oh, wait, actually, that's a lot of juicy Zealots right there. Oh my god, that is beautiful. You guys see those Zealots disappear? That was actually just like 500 free minerals that I got, because I think my Hellions were going to die the exact same way if he didn't warp those in. So that's very much appreciated. Now, at this point, I have 9 Thors. I have +2. I have enough Hellbats. And I think this is going to be a good time for us to go for it. Normally, what the follow-up to this is to make even more starports. Or not even more, because I only have 1. But even more production facilities. In this case, starports. Because I want more Banshees. Because I think if you really want to transition into something proper, you would go for the battlecruisers, but battlecruisers are just going to take too long to get online, so I think more Banshees to take care of ground and do more harassment is just going to be the right choice. Oh, we might be getting base traded here. Base trade would be a really scary choice, to be honest. Ideally, I do not end up in a base trade, but if we get there, so be it. I mean, we did already win one today, so I suppose we can win another one. Ah, he was hiding Phoenixes. Okay, that's going to be quite... Okay, you guys shoot the Phoenixes so they actually die. That'd be really nice. I guess the Thors didn't really feel like shooting them, and GG is called. 198 supply left against 88, almost a double the units lost. And this was just a really nice game. Now, I do have to say the Thors, even though they are what made this push very strong, I really think that the Banshees were the MVP of this game. Like, the tanks, they didn't trade amazingly, but they helped me defend the Stalkers. But the Banshees, let's look. 75 workers killed this game, and I think probably 10 or so were the Hellions. I guess we killed 2 with the Reaper, but 60 kills or maybe more were because of the Banshees, so they were the real MVP. But I did make a lot of Thors, I didn't lie. Let's go for game number 3. The third game is going to be against a Barcode Terror. Now we are playing on Alcyone. So this map, I want a cheese, right? I just played 2 macro games. I promised you guys at the start I would do some cheeses. I want to do a cheese. Now this map does have really good cheese spots because, let me show you guys. You can mine out the minerals on this side and basically proxy it next to their base. The problem with that is that they could technically see that you have mined out one of the patches, making it way more suspicious. Because there is no way to path into this side of the map unless you mine one of the patches. So if, let's say, he scouts my base with an SCV, then clicks over here and sees that this is mined, you know, it makes it a little obvious. But I do think it's a really cool idea to just proxy it like somewhere in an insane spot where he technically shouldn't be able to reach. Unless he uses another SCV to mine it out, of course. Like, let's say I'm going to send this SCV out. Let's say I mine this out. I'm going to do it anyway. And send it all the way over here. Even if his SCV would walk through this path, he would have to go all the way down here to scout it. And then he would still have to mine this out to let a unit through. So I feel like we should be safe, but I don't remember actually doing this as a Terran. I know I've definitely done this a bunch of times as Protoss, where I put like a Stargate here or a Robo facility here or something, but I don't quite remember doing this with a Thor drop, or I don't even know what else I would do this with, like maybe like a Hellion drop or so. Something a little crazy anyway. Now I did go for the barracks first instead of the gas first. I'm mostly doing that because it's a little more economic, so sometimes in these TVTs, they end up having Tank Viking out already in these proxy Thor games. I know it's not the most standard game, but I've played a lot of them, trust me. Sometimes they end up not having that great of an economic situations, but they are stable with tanks and Vikings. And I think if I play barracks first like this, there's a lot more chance of a transition. So let's say I kill, I don't know, 10 SCVs and a bunch of units, but I can't kill the opponent anymore. Maybe then I could make an expansion while just keeping up with my Thor drops all the time. And then, yeah, I mean, it really depends. It's going to be like a lot of chaos if that happens. I've played games like that before. It's completely unpredictable, so I suppose we'll just enjoy the chaos and see where we end up. Now my opponent is gonna go for a light pressure with the SCV. That is slightly annoying. Let's see if I can... Oh, that's a good grenade. Let's see, can I get one more hit? I actually did get... Oh my god, the micro here was pretty good, guys, not gonna lie. Now I do want to make my armory already, and I'm gonna make the starport right away. I think he might not have seen the lack of expansion because of this interaction. Like, he was supposed to win that trade pretty convincingly because he had a Reaper plus an SCV against the Reaper. But I think I did even more damage to his Reaper and almost killed his SCV. So that was, yeah, not gonna lie, that was actually quite impressive. Now, I'm a little afraid of going up against a double gas here because I'm not gonna have a lot of units. I think I can barely afford 2 more Marines. I'm just trying to make sure I have enough minerals to actually start my Thor. And I think I am barely going to have enough minerals. I still need to make a supply depot as well. I think I can barely fit in that supply depot as well. Maybe make 1 more SCV and then skip the next 2 Marines. This should be just good enough. And let's see if I can find something in the middle. Thor number 1 is being built. Hopefully one of many. You never know how the early game goes. Sometimes my first Thor just gets absolutely dunked on and then it's not as fun anymore. But hopefully I get to make a lot of Thors from this position. He has 2 Reapers and a Cyclone. That looks like he played double gas to me. I'm actually going to go across with my Marines this time. I wasn't sure if I should do it, if I wanted to make this like 100% all-in. But going across with the Marines here is going to give me like a little bit more pressure at the front. And I am going to expand behind it just because it seems appropriate with the amount of money I have. Now my first Thor is about to finish. Let's make sure I put it in a good mode instead so I don't struggle with splash damage Thors because they always disappoint me. So I'm just going to A-move these at the front, see how they do. Fix these SCVs. Maybe I'll just start off by killing this depot. He's probably going to have 2 Cyclones, which is quite dangerous, so I do need to be careful here. Depot number 1 is going to fall already. Let's make sure to get the second Thor as well. Expansion is down. Now, I would expect him to not actually have a tank yet. I'm not quite sure if that's brave, but I guess we'll see. So now I have... This Thor is in a really good freaking position, by the way. Look at that Thor. That Thor is actually in an amazing position. I'm not even sure what I should do against it. Oh, it sucks that my units are attacking the Raven, or that my Thor is attacking the Raven. Guess I'll just back off from this momentarily. I was quite sure we were going to see a second Cyclone, by the way. So either the Cyclone was chilling into the main for some reason, or he actually did not make that Cyclone, which would surprise me. So now I have 2 Thors. I didn't like that my unit shot the Raven, because the Thor does more damage against ground, typically. The anti-air attack is mostly good for the range. But if I can kill the Raven now, that would be very nice. I'm going to kill the 3rd depot already, by the way, which is pretty crazy. That is depot number 3 falling already. Let's see. Is he going to unsiege the tank? The range? Okay. If I can snipe the Raven, I 100% should. And the main reason for that is that he's going to have interference matrices at some point. And those are going to hurt very, very badly. Now, maybe I should just keep expanding on location. I don't think with this amount of map control I have to worry about him attacking. And realistically, if he's attacking me, we're already kind of screwed. So, I don't think I have to worry about that. Let's see, let's saturate these gases. I think I can kill that 1 gas. But now I am starting to be afraid of the interference matrix. Gonna just pop down this gas real quick. And let's see if I can escape before the matrices show up. So that's a gas dying. I feel like we have done a pretty crazy amount of damage with this so far, right? Like, it feels like usually the units or the base is going to be pretty well covered, but so far, this has actually been doing a lot of damage. Now, this is my riskiest move of the game by far. So far, let's see. So this Thor is going to pretty much pop off already. I can just save it out of range of that tank, I think. And now his Vikings and stuff are going to show up. And then I'm going to be able to drop... Oh, I'm going to drop on 2 tanks here, guys. Look at this. I'm going to get both of these tanks. Please target that 1 tank. So these tanks are going to fall. This Thor is absolutely still alive and popping off. Let me target that Cyclone. These Thors, I did lose 1 of them, but they're also still doing really well. I'm going to save it barely in time. Look at the damage that Thor is dishing out, guys. That is actually insane. But it was almost going to survive everything there. That was freaking crazy. Now, 1 of my Thors died, so I can just use this medevac for that. Keep in mind, I already have a 3rd base on location as well. And for some reason, this strategy looks freaking broken in this game. Like, I don't think my micro was perfect. I didn't even really make use of, like, the opportunity cost, right? Because early on, I didn't do much, besides killing a lot of depots. But somehow still, it feels like my Thors have just cleaned up absolutely everything here. Now, let's see. I don't see a tank nearby. I'm just going to drop another Thor. He's probably getting really sick of me dropping freaking Thors in his base at this point. Okay, that is a lot of Vikings. I think I might have made a mistake here by flying in. Well, I guess I'm doing a lot of damage anyway, so it's fine. Let's see. I'm kind of surprised he's not going for it yet. Landed Vikings destroy Thors really hard, by the way. Like, landed Vikings would absolutely crush these Thors. Now, maybe I can get a... Let's see. This is very risky what I'm doing here. Yo, they actually fit in between. That is really funny. I don't think I can... Okay, I'm going to be able to kill 1, and I'm going to be able to get out. Now, do I make another starport here? I think I do, because otherwise... Did I repair the Thor? I did. Otherwise, I'm not going to have enough medevacs for my freaking Thors at some point, and that could be problematic. It's going to be a little awkward with the rally and stuff. Like, I don't know where to rally my stuff, because... You know, I have 1 Thor that's just building here all the time together with a medevac. I guess as long as he's not attacking me, I can just keep flying around super freely with these Thors and see how it works out for me. He does have a lot of tanks now, and tanks... wait, did he just scanned my natural. I have a 3rd base, my friend. Wait, this is actually so cool. Like, I'm doing such a weird economic version of this that my opponent is... You can tell he's clearly very confused, right? So he's still chilling in his natural. Tanks unsieged, meaning he might be wanting to move out here. Looks like he is going to move out. Let's see, what is over here? There's nothing over here, which means I can now drop there. And this is going to be a very nice Thor. There you go. Gonna start killing these. He's probably very, very annoyed now that Thor walked into his base, I'm sure. He is coming back. Oh, he was gonna go for a double starport all in. That's an interesting choice. These Thors are now gonna brutalize even more of these SCVs. He's actually losing so freaking many SCVs. He's not gonna have any freaking SCVs left at this point, guys. They're gonna target down a Viking. There we go. Probably want to get another factory at home. This Thor is gonna go straight into the main. I should have made an engineering bay earlier. That's definitely a little bit of an oversight by me. I am missing a couple medevacs, so I can't ferry around my entire army. Right now, he really does have to attack, by the way. Like, he's waiting very long to attack. Okay, finally he's going for it. Like, I mean, I don't necessarily want him to attack because that is the way for him to win this game. But I was very surprised that he wasn't attacking me yet. Maybe I should just move forward with these Thors, see if I can force him to siege. I think that is not a crazy idea. Gonna start getting some random stuff up. Here we go. Gonna kill a couple of these units already. Thor in the main base is gonna be absolutely popping off. And maybe I can go for it again. See, oh, we got that Viking. That is another nice pick-off. This Thor is probably just gonna clean house for the rest of the game, I think. At some point, I might actually go for a base trade. We're going to kill the Liberator. Exactly. There we go. And GG is called. This Thor cheese annihilated my opponent. Look at the supply here, guys. 138 against 47 supply. I killed 42 workers with a Thor drop. I have like 3 times the supply. This was freaking insane. Why was this so strong? Usually when I do these videos, it's like I kind of win on accident or I sneak a win here. But here, the strategy looked freaking broken. I think I have energy for one more game. So let's do it. Game number 4 is against Hero Sege, a 5k Protoss on Dynasty. All right, so we do have a little bit of a nice, crazy map. Now, what build do I want to do here? You know, I would really like to do that TVT strategy against Protoss as well, where I just have like a Thor drop and then a second Thor drop and then a third Thor drop and just keep doing that over and over. But I think Protoss probably has a little bit too easy of a time countering that. There is another build that was actually nerfed, which is really unfortunate. Let's see, how do I think the build went, you go for a either 1 or 2 Widowmine drop, and then you go for the Thor. And the reason why that build was really good before is because Widowmines were permanently cloaked when you made an armory. But they nerfed that, so now you actually have to make drilling claws for them to be permanently invisible, which is just too much to afford. I guess I could technically still try. But I don't know. I think it would take a little bit too long and too many resources. But I can still try the build, because who knows. I do always like doing builds that are a little bit weird on maps like this, because it's very likely that my opponent's going to be doing something weird as well. And I would like to get my cheese in there before they get to cheese me, you know. And I guess we'll just have to see. A lot of pros players play differently on this map. Like MaxPax, for example, likes to take the gold base from the back on this map, expand here. Some people like to just expand in their normal natural. Some take the gold from the front. And we'll just have to see. I was always of the opinion that Oracle into Blink is the best way to play this map, because then you can take the gold very safely, because the Oracle can defend everything, and then you can get into Blink and, you know, abuse your enemy's gold base yourself. But a lot of players also like to just play straight up 4-gate Blink here. So I guess it really depends on the taste of the opponent, but I'm just going to go with my build and see how it goes. I'm actually a little annoyed at myself because I'm so tempted to try and make drilling claws, but I know that it's just going to make for a pretty bad build. Something I could do is maybe start walling this off against the Blink Stalkers already. I don't think... No, it doesn't look like I can wall it off with just a depot and a bunker. So that is going to take me a little longer. This Reaper is going to tell us a lot, by the way. Like, hopefully we can see if we're being cheesed or if he's taking the gold base fast enough. It's actually something I didn't consider before. But it's pretty tricky on this map if you would go up against a 1-base cheese, because the Reaper, you kind of want to send it to the gold base first. And even if you don't, let's say you send it to the normal natural, you won't know if your opponent has a base right away, right? Because they could have just taken the other natural. But then at the same time, they could also be proxying your base. So there's a lot of things to scout. And he just went for his own base with a blind battery as well, interestingly enough. Let's see if I can get a little bit of a tech scout. Doesn't look like it, but this map does have a double Reaper spot. So I'll be able to get out. I know this map is pretty big, so the Reaper arrives late. But I don't think he would have had the time to build a secondary gateway unit already. So I don't think there's an adept on our side of the map, which is great. So I'm going to go for the 2 Widowmine drop. Then I could bring the medevac back. Or I could make a secondary medevac for the Thor. I'm not quite sure yet. Now, the battery is not too scary for me. Normally, the batteries are a little bit scary, but here it's not going to matter too much. I think Drilling Claws takes about 70 seconds to build, if I remember correctly. So I don't think we're going to be able to get that out in time anyway. Which is probably good, because otherwise I would have been building it. Let's see if I'm right on that. Well, first I should probably start the Thor. Let's see. Let's make the Thor first. Drilling Claws, 79 seconds. Yeah, okay, there's no way we're going to be able to finish that. Thank goodness, guys. Sometimes I need to be kept in check. So if the unit stats do it instead of, like, you guys, that's already quite nice. That is the most random Stalker I've ever seen. But I guess it does the job for him. So well done. No, it looks like we are going to be playing his 4-gate Blink. Okay, this is probably the hardest thing we could have gone up against. There's no Stargate first or anything like that. Let me actually save this. Reaper might be useful later on. Not quite sure yet if it will be, but it could be. I'm gonna make another depot. I probably should have made a couple more SCVs. Let's see if I can get something with these. Maybe I can get one of the stalkers. That'd be nice. So I'm gonna get one of the stalkers. Maybe I can save one of these widow mines if I'm lucky. Okay, can I block him? Oh, I didn't actually manage to block him. That is unfortunate. Now the Thor is already walking across the map. I'm gonna have to send the rest as well. Now the only hope we can possibly win this game is very simply just if we hit before he gets like a good warp in off. If he gets the first warp in, I think we should 100% lose this game because this is 4-gate blink. He's even making more production on 2 base. Wait, did he just... I'm actually quite confused, not gonna lie. Did he take this 3rd base, making a bunch of gateways, but not a robo? Because he added the robo there, which is extremely weird, right? Now, my SCVs are very late. That's actually quite annoying. That's gonna cost us a decent amount here, I'm afraid. Because we're not going to be able to target the battery overcharge. I'm actually going to be able to target it now because he's been running back. That's a mistake by my opponent. So the battery is going to die pretty much instantly. And now I'm going to be able to target the pylon as well. The Thor is just going to be completely fine standing there. Those gateways are unpowered. And I think our opponent, he did something really weird with his build. It looked like a 4-gate blink, but he didn't make the robo. But then he made the robo adder later. So could it be that he... took this 3rd base after 3 gateways and is now going... I actually don't know. I guess I could even kill the base as well, but I should probably try to go for the finishing blow, because if I don't, I think his economy might be a little bit too good. Please do not walk there, because he will get killed from the high ground, my Thor friend. Let's see, is he going to try to attack this? It kind of looks like he does want to stick around. Guys, I have another Thor, so I can drop them on top of the Stalkers. Look at that. I can probably kill at least one of those, I think. One goes down. Another one is heavily damaged. Going to make sure that I keep a couple SCVs alive and target down that battery. The battery falls. If I kill that Immortal, that's going to be super, super nice for us instantly. Going to target it with that one. There we go. It falls now. And now it's going to be a very close battle. I can't save both of the Thors, so I focused on repairing one of them. He has lost a lot of probes already. I think I'm going to cancel a couple SCVs so I can make yet another Thor. Killing that pylon is not super important, but at some point it might be important for me to depower his production entirely. My SCVs are doing so well, by the way. Like, I still have one SCV repairing that. Look at that Thor. The Thor is actually still alive. I'm going to lose the final SCV now. But now, oh, okay, I was going to depower that, but looks like I won't be able to. I have no idea where I've been rallying my Thors all this time, by the way. You guys notice my Thors have been walking to the freaking bottom side of the map? It's like I click like barely here or something. It doesn't seem to be the case, but my Thor behavior has been quite weird. How do I deal with this now? I think I'm going to send these Marines around because I do think he has that base. Unless he canceled it. 2 Thors should be enough to deal with 6 Stalkers at the front. Yeah, this is actually going to get quite awkward. I might even have to expand after this, which is super weird. Like, I really didn't think this was going to be an expanding kind of game after everything that happened at the start. Judging by this amount of Stalkers, he maybe doesn't have that base. Because if he did, he would have been able to warp in more Stalkers, I think. Now, Thors are not even going to be able to hit here. Why the hell are you walking to the top side, my friend? Yeah, so he does have this base. Let's see. There's not that many workers. Oh, this is... I'm not going to attack. Here we go. I'm in the mineral line now, and now he's going to lose a lot of these workers. He wasn't expecting this for sure. And there we go. Oh my goodness, what a game. I feel like we went from unlosable to we're winning to we kind of got defended, but then he does have the 3rd base, or does he? I'm not sure. And we win anyway. All right, 52 workers killed by our Thor all-in. That is quite a significant amount. Dude, even now, he had almost the same worker count as me, but I guess he doesn't have gases here. He wasn't mining gases in the natural. He was only trying to mine minerals, which is the right choice. But the Thor all-in did his job. It probably shouldn't have, but I think maybe the fact that he made the robo later, or maybe the fact that I scouted it made him want to mine game. I should probably stop talking because this game is going to make my brain explode. But anyway, that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed me destroying some Grandmasters with Thors. We had some Thor macro games, some Thor cheeses, and now I'm absolutely exhausted. If you enjoyed this, give a video a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all for the next one. Adios.